You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
I'm Tim Fulton.
This week on Fight Fan Weekly,
Fight Fan Weekly.
what do we got?
We got some updates for you. Mayweather possibly coming out of retirement.
No, he retired. Do you know the full story on this?
All right, go ahead.
He puts out a tweet or an Instagram, whatever social media post, and he says, after whatever many years, I'm retiring from the brutal sport of boxing.
Okay.
And then right after that, like I don't know if it was a day later or same day, he's like, but I'm still doing like exhibitions and this and that. And me and Dana White got something big planned for 2020.
See, we had this discussion last time. This is what bothers me when these guys say that they're... But continue.
It's smart because we're talking about it.
Oh, 100% smart.
Yeah. So he says now, I just saw a article that was posted like 40 minutes ago saying he wants to do 2 fights in 2020.
Well, of course he does. How much money did he make last time?
We was making a lot of money, but Floyd's one of those guys too where he probably spends money faster than he makes money.
Yeah.
So all that facade of like how much money he still has in the bank, I don't think he has as much money as he puts out that he has.
He walked away with like $50 million from the McGregor fight.
More than that. Well, cash you mean, or because he made over 100.
Okay. I mean,
but the dude
after everything's said and done, I think we can safely say 50 to 40, including tax and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah. But still,
plus
all
endorsements.
Right. Plus endorsements. All right. We'll just say 50. Make numbers easy. $50 million. That was what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
$50 million.
Mm-hmm. Dude, the guy spends money like crazy.
I wouldn't even know how to begin to spend $50 million.
You're not Floyd Mayweather.
That's true.
So that's why.
That's true.
Yeah. So
hookers are expensive.
I think he's, people still want to watch him fight, whether it's to lose or win. I'd be interested to see if he does something with that new Zuffa boxing that's apparently going to be coming out, which is Zuffa's the old UFC company that owned the UFC.
Yeah.
And they now have Zuffa boxing. So they haven't done anything yet, though.
So going back to you saying that this is smart, this is how I found out about that.
Yeah.
So it all ties into each other.
Exactly.
I'm curious who they're going to get. Is it going to be an MMA guy, like a UFC fighter, or are they bringing on someone who has a traditional boxing background?
Boxing is very strange because
you're strange.
The UFC, everyone knows MMA. They know the UFC.
Yeah.
They know some of the guys know Bellator, but mainly everyone thinks of MMA. They think of the UFC.
Yeah, that's a fair.
Just like football, NFL.
Yeah.
Baseball, MLB. So the crazy thing with this one, we're getting a little thing here, little team Snapchat.
We're being watched by No Knock Warrant. Hello, my brother. What's up?
So the thing is with boxing, if you hear that, Tyson Fury is fighting Deontay Wilder or whoever, do you know what boxing organization they're fighting in?
Not a clue in the world.
Most people don't.
Are there more than one? I'm assuming.
Well, there's WBA, WBC. There's 3 main ones. That's why they unify the belt, and that's why it's so difficult for promotions or people to get fights sometimes, because it would be like UFC's champion fighting Bellator's champion.
Yeah.
So each of them have a contract with said promotion, and the promotions have to come together and make a deal, and they always want more money than the other guy.
Of course they do.
That's the reason why a lot of big fights never take place, or they take place too late in boxing, is because the promotions hold each fighter, and they're usually the best fighters are never in the same promotion, or at least when they're in their prime or whatever. So
quick random tangent. Did you see the video online of that guy dodging punches?
Who?
I forget his name, but he's apparently some boxing superstar. It was like watching...
What's his name? What do he look like?
It's like a white dude.
Okay.
But it was like watching Muhammad Ali's white grandchild. He was so fast, so on point. Shit like that makes me want to consider watching boxing if I had time.
Was small guy, bigger guy?
I don't know.
What, do you look like a heavyweight? Do you look like
a... no.
Okay.
Definitely not a heavyweight. Definitely not a lightweight. So somewhere in the middle there.
Okay.
But yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame the state that boxing is in. It's been better the last couple of years, but For a long time, it was just really in the shitter because there was only a couple big names.
Yeah.
You know, there's only been a couple big names in boxing for the last, I want to say like 15, pretty much since like Tyson and Evander and Lennox Lewis. There hasn't really been a ton, you know, until the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's been like Mayweather was kind of carrying everything. You had like, you know, Triple G and those guys, but not a lot of like.
You don't have any household names left.
Yeah.
There aren't any household names left in boxing today.
Yeah.
Like, I think we said this once before. I mean, you could talk about Conor McGregor and anyone will recognize. Most people
Which
will
is crazy.
recognize the name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you don't have that star, with the exception of Mayweather, depending on his
So, yeah.
retirement status.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
We're also going to be talking about Darren Till.
Drunk as a skunk.
Drunk as a skunk. Apparently, who do you call out?
Yoel Romero.
Thank you.
Scary person.
Apparently, he was hammered when he did it, and he
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You pretty much have to be drunk to be calling out Yoel. Nobody wants to fight that guy, dude. He's 43 years
Darren
old.
Till does.
Nah, but no, like, he's one of those weird guys where all the fights that he's lost, he can kind of, you can make the argument that he can kind of win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Canelo. Thank you, No Knock Warren. It was Canelo who was dodging punches in that video.
Canelo Alvarez.
Sure. Is there any way to make
That's the only Canelo that I know.
I don't know who Canelo, what his full name is, but
Yeah, so.
in case people want to check it out.
Yeah, you gotta be drunk to call out Yoel. Nobody wants to fight that guy. That you could take him at any point and just stick him into a title fight, and as long as he, you know, has a couple weeks to lose the weight,
Yeah.
I mean, he has the chance to win. You can't say that about everybody.
Yeah.
He's such a like he's been competing at a high level for so long. You'd probably got to be shit faced. I think that's hilarious that Till came out and said that. I think it's very refreshing.
That makes me
honest.
like him because he's such a he just sounds like a chill dude. You know what I mean?
Was being very honest. Like,
yeah.
Like, dude, I was shit faced. Like, doesn't mean I won't fight him, but just know.
And now I really want to see the fight.
I'm sorry, Yoel.
If that was like some amp up to get into the ring, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, be interesting to see that fight.
Yeah,
Yoel's it's hard to bet against Yoel, dude. Even the fights that he's lost, he could have won some of them.
Is he in the top 10 right now?
Yeah, dude, even if he lost fucking 6 fights in a row, I can just picture how he would lose them and he would still be in the top 10. You could still throw him in there as long as he didn't take too much head damage.
Yeah.
He's a freak athlete. He's 45, 44, 43 years old.
Getting up there.
He looks like he's 20. Like he's an insane athlete. Insane. And he changes people's careers. Nobody's the same after they fight him.
That's kind of...
That's scary.
It's scary.
Like, he fought Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold just retired. Fought Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman hadn't been doing much since. Fought Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida left the UFC after that.
You're making him sound like a Rocky villain.
Well, no. The thing with him...
This was him ruining careers.
This was interesting. I heard Chael Sonnen talk about this. He was talking about the Cuban wrestling team and how the Cubans train.
Okay.
And he was saying that part of the Cuban strategy was that and he said it still goes on to this day, is that if they're in a wrestling match, they will not do any more than is necessary to win the match.
Okay.
So if they go against, and he was just talking about this, so I'm robbing his shit completely here, but I'm trying to explain to you from like a higher level guys, like his view on this.
Gotcha.
So if you have like the number 1 guy in the world and he draws the number 20 guy in the world of wrestling, he said he would almost make it look competitive until the last minute of the match. So basically, he doesn't want to do any more than he has to do to win the match. He doesn't want to show anyone anything because he's got to wrestle everyone else still. So I'm not going to risk injury or anything like that to try to get this guy in a blowout. I'm going to do just enough to win the match. So I'll keep him off, and then when I need to, I'll score my points and I'll win the match.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's only about W's and L's.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. And he does kind of fight the same way. He'll sit there and he'll give rounds away, which is what Sonnen was saying. It's like he'll just allow rounds to be lost because he's like, when I need to, I'm going to end this fight. So I'm going to just wait for my time. And when I feel the time is right, I'm going to explode. So, and he does fight like that. He's very like he kind of lulls you to sleep. He just kind of stands around and then all of a sudden just knees your brain into the back of your skull. So it's interesting. I don't know whether that's partly because he's so athletic and muscular and fast twitch muscle fibers that's how he feels his best avenue for success is, instead of trying to fight like a conventional fighter.
It might just be subconscious after years of like, you know, like once you start trying something out once or twice, like saying like, all right, let me ease up on this. Let me not go 100%, but still get the win. If he does that 2 or 3 times, eventually it just becomes habit forming.
Yeah.
You learn how to play out the other guy up to what's necessary.
Especially if he did his whole career in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to transfer over 100%.
And also, too, I think that is partly the reason why he still possesses knockout power in like rounds 4 and 5, is because he doesn't like he's been gassed before, but he still has the ability to knock you out when he's gassed. Like he still has that ability to do that
because he's a scary mofo.
Yes, but I think it's because he doesn't exert himself the way normal fighters do. He kind of reserves that energy.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I don't know, scary.
I don't know.
Say a prayer for Till, definitely.
Good luck, Darren Till.
Yeah.
All right, I think that just about wraps us up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. For our live viewers, we'll be back in a couple of minutes with a What Do You Got? If you're not a live viewer, we always have new content going on down at brodownpro.com.
Yes, we do.
So why don't you go check it out? And until then, we will see you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.